Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Happy New Year, and we've got New Year on the mind. Stay tuned for episode 4, Mimi's anniversary.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Give us a little dance move.
Yes. What's like a sitting dancer like?
Hey, you gotta groove. This song, you gotta groove to it because it's emotion.
Right.
Hey.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We do have a special guest in the building. We have Shaun Walker, one of Mariah's dancers. I am Abigail Fraher. You can follow me on all social media at Abigail Fraher.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Olivia Gabaree. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, The Real OG.
And where can they follow you guys? Yeah, for you.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Shaun Walker. You can follow me on Instagram at Shaun Walker.
Yes, and you can follow me, Kalima, at Kalima Music Art Wisdom everywhere.
All right, guys. So we're gonna break down the real current stuff first.
Yeah.
New Year's.
Where do we start?
Where do we start with this? Where do we start with the Mimi meltdown?
Oh,
So what was you all's reaction, first of all, when you saw it? Like, were you scared for her? For me, I was just, like, nervous for her. Like, where is this going? My first thought was, like, obviously the engineers are not keeping up with her vocals because she slowly, if you guys watch the tape back, she slowly pulls the mic away from her mouth. So that would, for me, that said cue to engineers that I'm obviously, you know, about to just not sing. I'm about to just do some steps or something, you know, and they kept playing the tape. So, I mean, the track.
I mean, I'm just gonna be real. I was really disappointed. I think that it was handled poorly on both ends.
Okay.
I think that as a professional at her level, it could have been handled better on her end.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think as a New Year's Eve program that's been running for how many years, you should have your shit together by now. So I think it was a little bit on both ends. I don't think it was completely one side's fault. However, it's turning into this battle situation.
Do you think there was even a rehearsal, though?
You know what? My biggest point that I wrote down is that, you know, first of all, Stella came out and made a statement that Dick Clark Productions set them up for failure, basically, and wanted to get ratings up, so they basically sabotaged it themselves. I don't think that a production company is going to sabotage a production like that purposely. I also think if an earpiece is not working and hadn't been working the whole time, like they said that they told the production people that her earpiece wasn't working. So if you know it's not working, why are you okaying it and getting on stage to go?
Well, because it's NYE. My only response to that.
What does that mean?
Because the show must go on. Well, see, that's just.
But
see,
so
my
the
thing
show
is,
must go on. So you're gonna step up, knowing that it wasn't working.
I think that
yes, because
and then you're gonna just stop singing.
If we even look at the old episodes from even Mariah's world, she was 4 hours late, whatever the time difference was. She still has to get on stage, regardless if the earpiece. Even you know, people have broken legs and they still get on stage.
Right, but she didn't. But she didn't continue. She kind of just. I don't know. I think
at this point it's just like damage control. They you know, it's all excuses now because it already happened and they have to fix it or at least present it to the public in a way that doesn't make them look bad. So it's just passing the buck now, like whose fault was it and how can we make the situation look better on ourselves.
And she completely recovered on the last song.
On the following song?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Why couldn't you have done that in the middle song? Why were you she was embarrassed. She didn't know what to do really. She was I need a holiday too. Like I don't that all the like all that talking wasn't necessary.
Well, see, I think she was just trying to fill in. She was trying to work the audience.
She was caught off guard, but
but the only thing that I will say is I personally do not think that they needed ratings. This is NYE.
No.
This is the biggest viewed show of the entire night, and they obviously hired Mariah Carey specifically to get more ratings. So by sabotaging her performance isn't going to make the ratings even higher. She's on a show right now, so she's relevant. I personally, I don't know. I didn't think it was sabotage, but please jump in. You don't have to bite your tongue. Please jump in.
I'm listening. I'm listening to
taking it in.
Yeah, I'm taking it in, seeing everybody's opinions, and first of all, because she's the artist, I don't think we can really judge off of what we would do in that situation.
Right.
Usually, since I've been working with that's never happened. Usually they're on point. But if from what I've read, if she's saying that the earpiece isn't working, like, you can't just say, well, I'm not going to do it if it's not working. Especially for something as big as a New Year's show, you're going to have to get on and hope and pray that. Because there's been shows where you have to get on and hope that it works out.
Sure,
and usually it does.
Right.
But this time, from what I heard, the earpiece wasn't working. The monitor wasn't working. Because she has so many hits, it's like sometimes you want to look at and gaze at it just to make sure you're on the right. And then that probably also could have helped if the earpiece wasn't working, to look at least at the speakers and see where she's at in the song.
So are we thinking that with the Emotion song she forgot the lyrics?
Mm. Is that a possibility?
No. I mean, she knows she knows some of the lyrics. I feel like she knows all the lyrics, but at time, even because I'm an artist and I write songs and everything, and even I have songs that, even if I sing, I'll forget some of the words at times. Of course.
She has like 500 songs.
Yeah, and she
I think
has
more than that. Yeah,
so many. So I feel like because all that stuff was going wrong at that point, it was kind of a setup for her, especially on that big screen TV, and the whole world is looking at it. So of course, I mean, I would be embarrassed too if everybody's like looking at it, but from the look on her face, from the clips that I've seen, because I didn't get a chance to see the whole show, from the clips that I've seen, she was heated.
I would be too.
And she has every right to be heated, because like, you're in front of these millions of people and they're expecting the show. And she sings. Like, she's still.
Oh, of course. I am not. Not even saying that she can't sing. And honestly, when they were talking about lip syncing, like before I watched the whole video of it, I was like expecting like some Britney Spears like lip sync, and I was like, that's not like that. They weren't even playing, like there was not really vocals on her music, so I was like, that's a joke. Like, that was just to get people to click on it, I feel like, to watch it.
Oh wow.
However,
okay. I never noticed that, but
you know, like it wasn't like there was not her lyrics were not playing the whole time. However, I did I guess my biggest issue with it is just you've got your shit together on the third song. I didn't understand the attitude. I understand the attitude, but it's also like, you're a performer, like this is your job, this is what you're getting paid to do. So I was a little disappointed in how long it took her to get her composure back together to continue.
Do you think it's just the diva in her, where she was just like, really, you guys can't get it together?
Because I think I think maybe I would have thought that before, but after watching this show and everything, I really don't think that it was her being this like a prima donna or something. I think she really was just like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, and then she's like, well, I'm just gonna, like, let's, like,
she just made the
can I get a holiday too? Basically is what she was doing.
Oh,
and
she did,
I thought that was like, okay, let's go, come on.
Well, usually she tries to get a chance, like, and hear her talk on the mic and talking to people like, okay, this is out, what's going on. She's trying to give people a chance to fix it, so that way she can at least come back in. But I guess nobody was, from me working with her, knowing her, nobody was probably fixing anything. So she was kind of just blind.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, like, it's Mariah Carey. We all know she can sing. We all know she's an amazing vocalist. Yeah. So like, whatever.
And
let
if
it
you
go.
look
like,
at,
it was
they literally cut to the audience and they were still like not missing a beat.
Right. It was. I think more of a stir was created after. Now that everyone's doing these media like statements and all of that. But I don't know.
People have bad. Like, it's everyone has had a bad show.
Right. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Sucks it was on New Year's, but.
So what have you like learned since then? People are calling you, of course. Dancers, I'm sure, have spoken to you. What have they told you? And what was your reaction when you watched it? Were you like, oh my goodness, I wish I was there? I'm happy I wasn't there.
No, well, yeah, I was getting hit up, and I didn't get a chance to see the show because I was getting other stuff. So people were like, okay, what happened? I didn't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing. Just like, yo, what? Have you seen the show? Like, okay, you seen? So I'm like, oh my god, well, what happened? Like, y'all got me really excited. I want to see it. Like, I saw the Christmas show and everything, and so I didn't get a chance to see that one. So while I'm watching clips, I'm seeing what really happened, what I was getting texts about, and I'm like, oh, that's the face. It's like,
oh, what?
yeah.
the dancers, you could tell too, like they weren't really like, you know, they kind of kept on their way, but then also like, and then I'm just like, this is uncomfortable because they're back here like dancing, and she's like,
it's like
she's
uncomfortable.
like pissed,
like,
Yes. No, I had to laugh.
Anthony's like,
what are you gonna do in that situation?
But I was like, good for them. Like they kept going, but then it's like you saw Tanaka kind of like,
and
it's
like everybody trying to figure it out.
Like,
it's so, and stuff like that has happened while we've been on stage, like last minute stuff or stuff unexpected, and you have to figure it out while you're on stage. So I kind of laughed a little bit because I knew what was going on in everybody's mind because it's happened before, and just seeing them still trying to dance, and you know, she's probably over it because of what's happening, and seeing her go to the end is like, okay, so do we go over here? Did
you see too when she walked back through the feathers?
Yeah,
and she was like done, and then she comes back out. So someone must have said like, get your ass back out there, like you have to be on the stage.
I think she just had to gather her composure
but put yourself in her shoes.
Yeah, 100%.
You're in front of the whole entire country.
I'm like, oh, for real? Y'all gonna do this for real?
Right.
I would have probably said on the mic for, okay, y'all gonna do this.
They were probably pushing her from the other end, like shuts the door. It's like, sorry.
And I'm not putting, like, I don't know how I would handle it because I'm also not a singer and I'm also not Mariah Carey and I'm also not a superstar. So
of course.
I think there's, you can put yourself in her shoes, but only to a certain extent of what's expected at a certain level. If it was, some local artist who hasn't done what she's done, I probably would be, I was just a little disappointed with the amount of time it took. But that's all. I love Mariah. Like, this whole show,
this is obviously not the first time that there's been, hiccups throughout a performance, So, I think that, would you say this is the biggest, like problem that's ever happened during a performance? Or have you experienced anything bigger where it was like, okay, she was like pissed and like everybody, even the background dancers were like, I'm over this? Or was this kind of like, oh my goodness, this is probably the biggest performance fail?
Since I work with her, this is like a big one. But like I said, there's so many different factors into how that happened. But it's definitely because it's New Year's. So just seeing the clips and seeing the expression on her face, I know her, and she's definitely over it. She was heated, which she has every right, because I would have been pissed too, like, y'all gonna do this to me on New Year? Okay. Right. Like, I would definitely I know I would say something like that. I'm like, okay. I'll probably say with my arms closed. All right, y'all gonna start. We're gonna start this over.
Rewind. Let's go again. Okay. Well, I mean, end of the day, it's Mariah Carey, and I don't think anyone's questioning her skill set, or I really don't even think she has a right. Like, I don't even think she should really be embarrassed. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. What she didn't do.
She's still a legend. It doesn't matter. She's paid her dues. It's not the first. It's not the first, and it won't be the last. You know what I mean? Right. And we'll never really know if it was engineers or what it was. But I still think she looked bad as hell. She looked amazing in the good way. She looked amazing.
Let's see what
we've got a lot of
what everyone's saying.
While you guys are reading the chat, I have a question.
Sure.
So what does she hear in her headphones? Does she hear her own singing, or does she hear the song that she's supposed to be singing, so she knows what words?
Well, she's probably just hearing the instrumental.
She probably hears the instrumental and herself, because you have to hear your key and what tone you're in. If you can't hear yourself, then you could be singing sharp or you could be flat. So it's a combination of probably the music and herself. So if she can't hear herself, and especially as New Year's is a big crowd, it's loud, and I've been on stage where you can't really hear the music, and it's kind of nerve-wracking because it's like, okay,
even as a
dancer, how does that play? Really?
Yeah, you have to guess at times, because sometimes you'd be surprised. It's like in rehearsal, it's clear as day, but when the audience, when there's a big audience, it kind of drowns out the sound.
Right. Do you guys have your pieces as well?
No. I did do that when I worked with Beyonce. We had in-ears at the beginning.
Did you think that was a help?
It was, but then you can't hear the crowd as much.
Okay.
And so as a dancer, you like to feel the energy of the crowd. So a lot of times we don't like to wear it because sometimes it kind of gets in the way because it's a wire. Right. So when you're moving, you can easily knock it out, pull, or it can get tangled up and mess you up. And plus, you can't connect or feel, the energy from the audience. The audience, the crowd. So.
Just so you guys know, the producers just asked us a question. Can they hear it? Can they hear his question? Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Okay, well, cool. I think we got that wrapped up with New Year's. Let's move into Mimi's anniversary.
Yeah.
So the show opens with snow in a plane. Typical, like
snow in a plane, some bubbles.
Typical Mariah.
I feel like this was like the holiday episode. They were singing Christmas. It was her anniversary. It was Easter.
And I'm like, they knew when this was gonna air.
Even the editing was like cutting like a music video, but it was super cute. Yeah.
It was a super, super cute opening, and the kids all looked adorable. And then they land in Copenhagen, and I feel like every episode we get these slightly random but very insightful pieces of like Mariah's life. And this episode was with Lee Daniels, and I think this is the first episode where I finally caught the pattern where it's like, okay, glam. Okay, let's remember that Mariah is actually a human being, and like she is a deep person, and she actually has a story that is way more deep rooted and emotional than a lot of people I guess would perceive her as. So we learned that she actually funded one of Lee Daniels' first movies because nobody else would, and everyone told her also not to fund it, and she's like, no, I understand him. She got the picture, so they've had this crazy relationship from the beginning, and now he's incredibly successful. And
she killed Precious, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw, but she was amazing in Precious.
She was. So we learned that they have like a very long-standing relationship. I mean, she's really only friends with the big dogs in the business. I feel like I don't think she has any petty like new popular friends.
Well, because she's been in the business for so long. She's like an OG herself.
Yeah, exactly.
But she also seems very humble, even in the sense of like her background singer who had been with her. I forgot her name. Who also brings her Marianne, who brings her kid on tour with her as well. You know, so I don't think Mariah sees like she values the bigger celebrities or anything. I think that she definitely has a balance.
No, but I'm just saying like her connections are like she's been around for so long. That she like doesn't need to be friends with Justin Bieber or something like that. Like I don't know. It's just cool to see that deep-rooted connection. Cool. So aside from opening up with Christmas music, it was Easter. And Molly. We'll start with Molly.
Poor Molly.
I know. Molly really. I found myself defending her in my notes from this episode, and I feel like I defended her a little last episode, but this time I really felt like a concerned parent, like defending my child, because I just didn't.
They weren't very nice to her.
I felt like it was very mean girls. Yes, extremely. How was it? You met Molly. I can't wait to hear it. What was your...
Tell us about...
We only get to see about 10% of her, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, is she really like this behind the camera, or is she putting on for the camera?
No, she's not putting on for it. That's her.
Okay.
Did you have any like specific encounters with her that you could?
I talked to her for a little bit, and got to know her a little bit, but from what I see on the cameras, that's
her.
Yeah, that's her.
Did she seem to work really hard? Did she seem like she really wanted to be at her job? And did she get like? Do you know if she got written up or like told that she wasn't doing something right often?
You know what? She seemed like she definitely wanted, to be there and be at the job. I didn't see too much of her, like, but she was always like around MC Mariah Carey and the assistant doing whatever stuff, getting food and everything. So I didn't see too much. We didn't see too much of her because we was in our own thing, rehearsals and everything.
It sounded like she was busy.
I feel like you can't make yourself assertive. I feel like Molly just might have not been quite assertive enough for the position.
True.
But if you notice, when she went into that like last meeting with Stella, she was so articulate with what she was saying. And she threw like 3 sentences out that I had never heard her speak that way before, and I was like,
I was
like, this girl.
Well, listen, there's a reason why she got the job.
Exactly. I'm like, her resume is probably insanely.
She had to have like some, valid credentials, and she had to be intelligent enough in an interview to convince these people to hire her. So it's not like she's some random chick on the street that doesn't know what she's doing. She was just maybe put in a situation that wasn't, it didn't mesh well with her person.
That was my problem.
Because she seemed like a nice person when I met. She seemed like a very sweet person. But I think with this job, like, it was so many stuff going on, or so much stuff going on, and so many things happening at last minute, or so many things that you do have to take the initiative to do. And I think that is what happened. And Stella does require, like, because every time I see Stella, she's on the phone, she's probably cussing someone out, or she's getting stuff done. But like, and Stella is cool herself, but when she's about that business, she is in business mode. So
and she's an assistant for a tour. She's not like stationary, you know. So it's a lot. It's a lot more.
So it's a lot that is required, especially being that they brought their children. So I'm sure it's going to be more demanding than normal.
I guess I have two different ways to look at it. You know, defending Molly, Stella is the one that hired her. She's the one that sat through the interview, and we saw the interview. She looked dumb as hell on the interview.
Oh no.
So she did. I mean, she was really like she did. I wouldn't have hired her if that is what I was interviewing. So,
do you think Stella had bad judgment then?
Well, I think that they hired for a role.
Okay.
I think they hired
that makes sense.
It could be a role, or they could have known where the show was going and chose to edit it in a specific way to make her
but
to fit her character.
I feel like also Molly with that tattoo, with her getting the tattoo.
Wait, you didn't even see her get. I wish we could see like the tattoo
the
after.
The chick was walking around at like 6:30 in the morning to get her tattoo. Like she was walking back at 6:30 in the morning from getting her tattoo. What did Stella need at 6:30 in the morning?
Medicine. It sounded like.
But that it seemed like that was taken at night. I don't know. It was just a little bit. An assistant has to be 24/7, and I feel like again it's just bottom line. She wasn't assertive. She didn't fit the bill. But I don't know.
What's as a dancer? What's your perspective of Stella? Did she ever have any like holds over you guys or any encounters?
The encounter we had was, hey, how you doing?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. And
so you never got cussed out?
No.
Not even when you guys wanted your own bus?
Okay, we heard some
I'm just kidding.
That was definitely, we rallied for that one.
What was your position on that?
Anthony's position.
Yeah, it's a bunch of, we're grown men, and we just wanted to be, we didn't want to have to be filtered on for a whole tour. At the time I didn't know Marianne like I do now, but we wasn't feeling the idea of a kid being on the bus with a group of grown men, and we didn't know that it was gonna happen. But the way that they did it is what kind of threw us over the edge. Is because they just came in and kind of
took your stuff, right?
Yeah, they came in and kind of bullied us. It's like, okay, this is how it's going to be. All right, and walked out the room.
Oh wow.
And we're like, well, no, you're not just going to just come in here and do this. That's kind of disrespectful. So most of the reason why we really rallied, because we felt like it was just disrespectful. Like, you're not going to just put us at the bottom of the barrel. Like, okay, that you're just the dancers, we'll just do whatever. And that's what we felt like they were doing. So that was really the real reason behind rallying and to get our own bus, because it's like, you're not going to disrespect us, because we're just as much part of the show as everyone else.
Exactly.
I feel like the kids being on this tour has added an extra layer, obviously, to everything. But like Tangled just said on here that it wasn't Molly's fault that Stella's kids were sick. She's not a physician. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, as an assistant, is it your job to help out with the kids, or should a nanny have been around to help out with the children? Like, is that a double, what are you? Are you the tour assistant, and does that encompass the children? Or are you an assistant? I don't know where those lines are.
Because I've done a couple of tours and been around a couple of assistants. Assistant's job is pretty much
whatever
job is whatever. Yeah, you pretty much live in their life.
Okay.
So, I've been around great assistants and they have said, like, I feel like I have no life.
Because you're living their life.
Yeah, because whatever they need, you have to be on call.
Right.
And so that's what I mean, like, because Stella has a lot to do and a lot going on. Right. So that's what I mean, like, taking the initiative. That's probably what she was talking about, because you can't have a life if you're an assistant.
Right.
You have to be on.
And she did.
But getting your tattoo is.
In
there's no own life, no Mariah's life, or Stella's life.
In Stella's defense, she did also warn Molly that, like, she couldn't have a boyfriend. She didn't, like, cry. Like, she warned her it was going to be a rigorous, a rigorous job.
My thing is
saying that you can't have a. Like, you already know, like, okay, pretty much.
Pretty much, I have no life, and you have to give it all up.
I'm sure we're gonna get to the cake, right?
Yeah.
With Molly and the cake, though. Because I wanted to just mention, like, the tattoo. Go ahead.
I don't know if Again, I feel like I play devil's advocate too much.
And that's okay.
I like to see everybody's viewpoint.
Honestly, I probably would have gotten the cake.
Yeah, I didn't see a problem with it because my only reason is because everyone was there. Everyone was having a good time.
Exactly.
Everyone was having drinks. Everybody was celebrating. And you know what? Tanaka was out of line to be all over her lap all night. So if you want to talk about people being out of line and Stella harping on people, harp at him for being a stripper on top of her all night.
Well, that is a whole nother conversation.
Which we'll get to that, but don't harp at the assistant for it looked like the party was over, mind you, because there's no one in there. Then she got in a cake and just wanted an Instagram.
For like a minute. Right, exactly. It didn't even take that long. My thing is, I think Molly's smart enough to know if I have something that I'm supposed to be doing, I shouldn't be. That was editing, I think. Yeah, I'm sure she already took care of whatever she was supposed to.
And actually, on another point, Molly looked really pretty in that cake.
Yeah, she did.
Like, it was the first time I was like, dang.
She looks cute.
Molly's cute.
She's doing it for the IG.
And then Stella's like, I can't believe her. And I'm like, Stella's just hating because Molly looked cute that night. Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like she just wants her to know, like, there is this is not a fun job, you know?
And you know what, maybe, I don't know. I didn't think
but if she was already if she already felt like she was in hot water, she probably
shouldn't have jumped
in the cake because she already knew that.
I don't think she did.
Also, did somebody else get
me either?
Yeah, I don't think she did. She knew she was in hot water.
No.
Like
she wouldn't have did it.
It's all good.
Did anyone else get in the cake for pictures? Were people getting
That's a good question.
You got in the cake. Don't lie.
No, I didn't get
Do you have a picture in the cake?
I didn't get the cake. Not that I remember.
Not that you remember. Okay, see, so everyone was partying. Exactly.
Yeah, we were.
So
we were having fun.
Other people, I'm sure, got in the cake as well, not just Molly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other people got in the cake.
Case closed. Molly was fine. I need like a hammer. So, we'll just move on from. Oh, well, I did write that I felt bad that Molly had to get out of her bunny suit because she was so excited about it.
She thought she was doing something good.
So moving on to the next big thing is Tanaka.
I'm so excited for this part. Okay.
When they open with him just like talking about Mariah and about how like they met on tour in 2005 and like and the romantic music story is playing and he's like, we spent some time together and like I got to go listen to some unreleased songs and it's like, yo, you sound like a studio hoe. Is what you sound like right now. That is what he sounds like.
A thought.
He does. He's thoughting. He's thoughting around.
No disrespect to your friend. No disrespect. But but that's what he sounds like.
He sounds like that.
Yeah.
I mean.
But at the same time, as an artist, it's probably like, how many people do you think get to hear unreleased music, especially in a studio? That's like especially for Mariah as well. It's a very personal. It's like her baby. It's like you're sharing that. So he knows that was really important to Mariah. And I can see that he really appreciated it. But I think that maybe you, as well as me, the reason why we think that way is because maybe there was a motive there. So it's like, okay, he feels like he's getting a little in
there was
right
a motive
now.
since that he got on tour.
Okay.
There was a motive. And you see that because he's like, I just want to, get back to that point and break down some walls. She's engaged. What walls are you trying to break down? What?
I'm sorry.
Abby,
what walls are you breaking down? Like,
Abby lit right now. Hashtag Abby lit.
There's lines that you were like running over.
No, you're right. I feel you.
And, like, I wrote this down. I was like, there's a couple things wrong with that. 1, she's engaged. 2, she's engaged.
3, she's engaged.
Yeah, and I don't think he accepts that. I don't think he accepts it, like, she's not single anymore. And, like, because that was pre-Nick Cannon, right?
Okay.
In 2005?
And I agree. But my thing is, like, his job was to come sexually out, like literally out of a cake. That was what they asked him to do.
Oh no, I'm talking before the cake even happened. This is like in the
just for him to be in the studio. That's crossing the line.
No. I'm talking about the way he was talking and
about her.
Like in the confessional.
So it seemed more of a flirtatious instead of just like, I admire her as an artist.
Right. It's like he wanted to get that one-on-one studio time. He didn't give a about her.
Well, can I ask you, as a fellow dancer, as you're witnessing this whole entire thing,
take it off.
As you witness it all, like from your perspective and the other guys' perspectives, like what were you thinking? Were you like, Tanaka, chill out, or were you like,
was he team too much?
Happened?
What happened
was. We saw it. We was watching it, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, he's going in. Okay, all right. That was pretty much our reaction.
Did you ever tell homeboy to like chill out?
It seems like you guys tried in that man conversation.
But we did kind of, hype him up. We definitely fed him shots. So he was definitely.
But did he cross the line?
So here's what I really want to know. Was it more like, Tanaka, you're stepping on some ground you shouldn't, or was it like, yeah, man, get it, like, get it? Yeah. I think that's what it was more of. I think the boys were pushing him.
I agree.
We do eggs. So I'm not even going to deny that. Yeah, I'm just going to be quiet about that one. 'Cause,
so at no point did you think that he crossed the line?
He crossed the...
With the way that he talks about her and... Like...
Well, what we saw was like, oh, wow, like... I did. I was like, okay... She getting engaged, right? Like she's engaged.
Okay.
I was like, okay, is he here? Like, especially when they're taping, I was like, he's gonna see this.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and then you even see Mariah being like, you're gonna cut that out, like, and it's like, no, they're not gonna cut anything. I'm pretty sure you signed work that they won't cut
That's my biggest concern is at being her, ex-fiance watching all of this.
I would be sick to my stomach on it. I would be really sad.
Yeah.
But she also, like, in Tanaka's defense, she's the one who grabbed a champagne and poured it all down his abs and was, like, eating that up.
That's what I mean. She wasn't holding back.
Well, she was enjoying herself.
And I was trying to think, I was trying to be in her head and be like, okay, where is she at right now where she thinks that doing this is okay in front of all these people and in front of our
everyone's
TV.
faces were just like, no one knew how to react. Like, when they
her fiance...
everyone was just like...
It must have been over by that point, or about to be over.
Okay, imagine if it was your birthday. Go ahead.
No, it went on for a while. But yeah, everybody, the face that you said everyone was made because we didn't know how to react to it. And... Because it's like, is this really okay.
Are we seeing this?
Well, yeah, like... Oh, yeah, okay, y'all going in.
Yeah, that is happening, yeah.
All right. Y'all are going in, like, okay.
And they were going in when he dropped out of the cake. Then the boy goes and gets changed and then hops right back in his seat next to her.
Yeah, he slides
that's
right back in there.
Like, that was, no.
Yeah, we were
he took
like...
over.
Yeah, we were like, okay, wow, this is
I mean, my thing is like... Yeah.
It wasn't... It was
a little more than what...
Friends. And he keeps trying to do that. He's like, I want to get back that friendship. What friendship?
And I just think that, like, if it was my birthday and I was engaged and my fiance wasn't at my birthday party, like, I would enjoy myself, even if it is, like, if a dancer's dancing on me. Like, I don't see anything wrong with, like, pouring. I personally wouldn't, but I'm saying if she wants to have fun and flirt and her fiance is not there, she was probably really sad about that, so she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna turn up without him.
There's a difference too with it being, a hired stripper coming in and you enjoying yourself because it's for that reason.
Or if it's someone that you have a relationship with,
that you're like working with, I think there's a difference there. Like, how people hire strippers for like
bachelorette
party stuff.
Yeah, but he is hired. But he's a hired dancer.
But
he's a hired dancer.
But there's also
I don't know.
There's a personal relationship there too. It's not just like he's hired to be the cake boy for the night.
I just feel like that's why they chose him, because there's a personal.
Well, yeah, of course.
They did that obviously to make their show
But on her end, I think you're saying
on her end, I think that was a little. Or if she poured it and then was like, haha, okay, and then the party went on, fine. But like, she's like rubbing it in and like, just, I don't know. And just because I like to go in on Tanaka a little bit.
So were you guys,
did we see him prepping for that cake jump? I almost peed myself.
I loved it.
He looked like he was going into the Super Bowl, man. He was like, like, he was probably so nervous.
Yeah, imagine cooking in that cake for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, shit.
Yeah, he was in that cake for a while. Like, we up there chilling.
It's like, yo, where's Tanaka?
He did such a good job, though.
Forgot, he's in the cake.
He did do some magic moves.
He was like, I mean, when she was pouring it, and I just thought he did a great job.
Of course.
He's like, I'm cramping up. I'm like,
of course you did.
He said
I'm like, boy, like, calm down. You're in a box.
Right.
But anyway, moving on. So I guess we kind of talked about your guys' conversation with him, like when you guys were all out back.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever, with the wine and everything. And then, did he talk any more about them disappearing into the woods?
Do
you recall?
Or were you lit?
We were a little bit.
Yeah, don't give me
because you gotta watch the show to see some more.
Oh, okay,
I can't say too much. But, yeah, we talked about some stuff. We kind of... kind of got to where that was, because it's like, okay, you can kind of see what's going on, what's happening, and so it's like, hey, what's going on?
So what was the first sign where it was obvious that Tanaka was feeling Mariah more than just as a background dancer?
Did you ever buy that he was just feeling her as a friend?
Did you ever buy it? Right.
Well, I mean, shoot, anybody probably came to work with her. It was probably feeling her like that, but I'm trying to see when did, like, I pay attention, so I can see stuff, but let's see. I'm gonna say this.
I feel like I would have loved to be there, like the moment when it's like, okay, this is just a boy crush, and then you're like, oh shit, he has
like,
a chance. Like, dang,
yeah, I know.
Like, he actually could close this, and then he does.
Okay. Yeah, like, well, especially when the night of the parties, when you can really see, like, oh wow, okay, but she's enjoying it. Like, he's going in, she's not uncomfortable. Like, he's it just makes you say,
Yeah.
And it's just one of those moments where you're like,
stuff started making sense.
Everyone's just kind of looking around like, what's it?
Yeah, because you think like, okay, he's going to, okay, she might, oh no, she's not uncomfortable at all.
Now, did you see Mariah with her fiance ever? Did you see them together interact with her fiance, her ex-fiance?
No, I haven't met him.
Okay. Because I'm wondering if that connection was stronger than her and Tanaka. You know?
It couldn't have been, obviously.
I mean, something was
like,
up. They didn't pull through for a reason.
Also, like, you know, when you see...
I feel like it wasn't.
You see the, well... Do we have much more? Let's, because I want to go into predictions to talk, to hit that point. Yeah. But before we do that, when they were going, like, talking to all the fans at the end of the episode, what was going on with the last one who gave her the pendant?
Oh my god. Mariah, personally, I feel like she had a little bit of a poker face. Like, I think that she is grateful for it, but when she was like, no, I don't want to take this, I think it was mad overwhelming, because he literally was, to me, he kind of looked like her, like, you are my god. Like, it sounded like that's what he was saying. That's like a lot.
What was his story? Because I feel like they didn't give us enough information for him, because he's like, you're the only voice I heard for 10 years.
He went through a lot.
Well, I feel like from what I was watching, he was going through like, well, he couldn't sleep or something. Did y'all even see what?
No,
it
was like
Did
I
it
going
say
through
anything? Because I
something.
remember he was like, her voice was the only thing that got him through. So I'm thinking you had to been going through.
Pretty much, Mariah was like his outlet and his way to pull through and to like show that he was grateful. He obviously, this cross like meant something sentimental to him, and he wanted to give it to her.
Right.
But I could see, I mean, she probably deals with things like that all the time, as any superstar would. And how would you react if someone looked at you like you were their god, and
then gave you the one thing, like the only diamond,
and he's like, it's expensive, and it's like right next to her, like, diamond 85-carat rock, and I'm like,
I think that's what did it.
And I think that's why
she got, that's a little overwhelming.
It's super overwhelming.
Like, do you actually
take it? That's a lot of pressure.
Do you take it?
Because you don't want to take it.
How do you not?
Especially if you like, I'm good, but if this is your diamond, like, I want you to keep it.
Right.
And they're like, no, this means so much if you take it. So I'm sure she was overwhelmed and probably emotional, because I think somebody coming to you and saying what you've done for them and you don't even know, it'll make you feel a certain way. It'll make you feel like, well, I'm glad I could have helped, but like this is all you have. Like, I want you to keep it, like, and keep going and keep doing what you do and keep moving on. So I think that she definitely got overwhelmed with that, and I don't know what he went through, but it had to be something serious. And he, from the way he was talking, he didn't speak the language, so it had to be really, like, he learned all the words to her song to where he can speak good English. Yeah, so and I've met fans that, like I said, like, she is, through her music, has changed their lives and helped them get through a lot of things. And sometimes they tell us in hopes that they can get to her. Or, can you tell her that, like, tell her this or tell her that? So yeah, he's one of the more in-depth ones, because there's a lot more of them, but in that moment is,
I mean, I could feel it just watching it. I was like, I mean, just the way that he was looking at her and all, I just felt so bad for her, in the sense of like, she's only human. Like, she doesn't have that much power. Like, she's, you know, she truly just was writing songs that meant something to her and shared it with the world. And I that's why I understood when she was like, please, you know, you keep this. But now, you know, if she ever lost that just would make, you know, it would almost make her feel like a bad person. Yeah, and
she's a very caring person. She's like very supportive, so that would mean something. Like, she would keep that,
right?
Just
of course. Okay, so that was
my
next question for you. What do you think she did with it? Do you think she
framed it? Probably.
Has it?
Yeah, I'm sure she has, just because of what it meant to him.
She seems very down to earth as far as her interactions with people, and
my thoughts even watching it. Go ahead.
Oh no,
I was gonna say my thoughts even watching it. How she said that the you know, her staff, or, you know, her team is kind of like a family, but a dysfunctional family. It just goes to show how alone she probably is, because the only family that you feel like you have are the people that you work with, you know? So in that, it makes sense that maybe her fans are more so family, even, like, she feels almost closer to her fans even than her staff, because, you know, they're taking in all of the personal things that she's putting in her lyrics, and they, you know, actually feel and relate the same way. So I definitely know for a fact the love that she has for her fans are similar, I would say, just as much as family, you know, within her staff. But it just made me feel so bad for her, in the sense of, you know, she's this huge superstar and all we see is the glitz and glam, but really she's just a regular person walking through this earth.
I see it like, if she didn't have these fans, she wouldn't have that glitz and glam. These people are her, like, original, like, they've been with her since day one, and they made her who she is today. So if she didn't show appreciation and she didn't have love for them, then who would she be? Not a superstar.
Of course, yeah.
And that means a lot to her. Like, she talks about it all the time, the day ones, that even songs that she knows that they particularly know, because, and that's how she know, like, okay, these are my day one fans that's been with me. So lambs. That definitely, just being, the lambs.
Deep stuff. Well, then let's just get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
predictions.
Okay.
So, pretty much, right, spooky. So pretty much all we see in the predictions is Tanaka.
Right.
No, but I'm excited Nick Cannon's going to be on the next
episode.
I was
so excited.
Because I feel like I've never really seen their interaction with each other. Like, because when they were together, really, I mean, I think she was just more mom. Or like a little, she wasn't as out there, I think, as she is right now.
Have you seen Nick Cannon and her together?
How did they?
Well, I've seen they have a cool relationship.
Yeah.
Like, they definitely spend time with their kids. That's from what I've seen.
Can you see why she was attracted to him? Because she hadn't been married. I mean, she's literally, like, that was her first real relationship, at least publicly. Like, can you see, you know, the compatibility there? Like, no, not really. Because, I mean, I think that they're so
compatible
different
anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think they're still compatible. I think maybe it just didn't work out.
It was weird for me to see, like, Nick with the kids, like, there, and then the next thing you see is, like, Tanaka, like, jumping around, and I'm like, what?
Awkward.
I know.
I don't know.
Different levels.
But, I think that it's gonna get real intense. And I think now, like, I feel like, because the end where he's like, they're eating dinner or whatever, her and Tanaka, is that all has to be after her and her fiance broke up, right? Or was it not? Do you know? Do you know when in the tour that like it was like announced that like they split?
Oh, that probably wasn't announced till like recently when the pictures went
so you didn't
viral.
even know.
That's probably
Like, on the record, you didn't know, but low key, you kind of knew.
Yeah, no one officially knew anything until the pictures were released. But I mean, you can see like chemistry and everything. Like, people not slow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you predict then, I guess, for the rest of the season?
I'm just so excited to see this relationship play out. I am. I don't know. What any predictions for you?
No, obviously just the Tanaka thing, and I want to know how the show's going to handle the split, like if they're going to say anything about them not getting married, or are they just not going to acknowledge it? I'll roll with Tanaka, I don't know.
And I predict that, well, I don't really know how to predict if they're going to get another assistant or not. Bring on the show another, because the tour still's got to go.
Budget.
She's got to
budget. No, I don't think they're going to.
I mean, they were surviving while Molly wasn't doing much. So
yeah, if Molly really didn't do that much, I think they probably won't replace her. But I think.
Well, did they replace her?
I would love to say something, but you'll have to watch the show. That's
okay.
another reason.
All right. We're not really getting any inside scoop. Sorry.
Someone said they broke up after the tour in September.
Unless
according to the news report.
According to the news, but like
what news?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Tangled 55. They're up on their stuff, but I'm excited to see the rest of this because I think that it might have had a bigger deal to play in the end of their engagement than everybody thought maybe.
Yeah. So. Did you guys see the little clip? Do we have a second? Do you guys see the little clip when Tanaka was like, looking at Mariah and he was just like, are you really happy with this guy? Because I want you to be happy. And then you see Mariah's face and she was like, what was your reaction to that? Because my thing was
not
like
happy. That's what I was going to bring up.
I just can't believe he felt comfortable to ask
say that.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're at her level, obviously you don't need anybody. Like you don't need somebody else to help with the bills or
Right.
But I think that her engagement, what was his name? I'm having such a brain cramp.
What was his
now.
name? Her fiance.
Shoot. Packer.
Last name Packer.
Okay.
Packer.
John Packer.
So I feel like that relationship, I'm sure there was chemistry, but I think it was definitely like, she's a businesswoman too. Like I think it was more of maybe a business decision, or like we get along great and we also have all of this to bring to the table, so let's do it. And then it's like, oh, but then I have this young cute thing around me, and it's like I don't really need him. I'm gonna be fine. Like I might not be a billionaire, but I'm Mariah Carey and I have mega millions, so does it really matter? Like why not have some fun?
Yeah,
so that's how I think maybe.
They said I think those scenes with Tanaka were shot of continuity. I thought about that if they were like threading the conversation, like because in reality TV teasers when they bit a conversation to make it look better. I don't know.
Did you guys
such an editing snob. I'm like it's all edited.
But it's good to know that. Yeah, absolutely. What about did you guys see the Watch What Happens Live interview with Mariah
I did.
and Andy? Oh, okay, because they asked her about are you gonna give the ring back? And she just looked at Andy and she was like, why? Like, why would I ever give the ring back? So it just made me think, of course it makes you think, you obviously married, you were engaged to someone who has a lot more money than you, and you keep his ring, which she doesn't necessarily need the money, but
I want to give a ring
back. Who would give the ring back? No.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you proposed to me, it's mine.
But do you keep the ring and wear the ring, obviously not on the ring finger, or do you cash it in?
No, you change it into a necklace.
Right. There's a lot you could do with that.
That's perfectly good.
It turns into a cocktail ring is what that turns into.
Just put on a different finger.
We're good.
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
True.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Shaun, for coming.
Shaun.
Thank you for having me.
And you guys can find me at Abigail Fraher on all social media.
And find me at The Real OG on Instagram and Twitter.
And find me at Shaun Walker on Instagram.
And you can find me, Kalima, Music, Art, Wisdom, everywhere.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.